Hi, this is Kathy. How you doing today? In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a chart with Google Sheets. I'm going to use the data in this sheet to show the total expenses in row 12 and the total earnings in row 19. Both of these rows have the sum feature adding the cells above it. So let me show you the formulas for the cells in row 12. So those are equal sum. Then you notice in row 19 that's the same. And if I double click on a formula, it shows me the cells above the formula that the formula is based on. I'd like to create a column chart like this with the months in the x-axis and the total earnings and the total expenses in a column chart. This is the legend right here, and so the blue part, that's the total earnings, and the red, that's the total expenses. There is a place up here for a chart title if you choose to name your chart. And then this is for a left axis title, and this is for a horizontal axis title. To create the chart, I'm going to select the months. So that would be A2 through M2. And I'm going to select the total expenses. I'm going to hold down the Control key, A12 through M12. You have to hold down the Control key if you want to select non-contiguous rows. So that would be data that's not connected. And then I'm going to use the Control key and select A19 through M19. Now that I have my labels selected, the labels are the months, and my numbers, I can build the chart. Insert, chart. Now many times you're not going to use this chart here. This is just a chart that Google Sheets brought up. Right here it shows the cells that I have selected. This is very important to know this because if for some reason the chart's not working out right, you want to look at that, and because a lot of times it's not correct because you didn't select the right data. So this will allow you to fix one of these areas just to reselect it if you have to. This option right here, combine ranges, this is showing because we have non-contiguous rows. So I'm going to change this to vertically. So that basically merges those cells as if they were together so that it can create the chart. All right, over here in the legend, I see the months of the year. I want this to be along the bottom of the chart, so we have to tell it to switch the rows and columns. And that will get the months along the bottom. Actually, it's over here on the left because this is the bar chart, so I'm going to make it a column chart. And that will put those along the bottom. Sometimes you'll have to make some changes here in here depending on what you've selected. Right here in the legend, total expenses, total earnings. Sometimes you have to use column A as headers if you want to put these as headers. But because we use this combine ranges vertically, it looks like it figured it out itself. On the customization, here's where you can add a chart title. Over here is the legend. Notice it says the legend's on the right. You could change your font, your background, and some other things. I'm going to change the chart title to monthly expenses and earnings because that's what we're charting. And I'm going to click insert. All right, when you click insert, a chart is inserted on top of your sheet, and you can grab this. When you point to the mouse and click your mouse and you see the hand, that's the grabber tool, and it will allow you to move the chart anywhere you like. If you'd like to put it on its own sheet, you have a couple icons over here. The one with the down arrow gives you these menu options. Here's one that says move to own sheet, and that's this chart one right here. All right, so what if you want to add an x-axis here? You have some buttons up here that you can use on this page. Click Advanced Edit, Customization tab. All right, so your axis, your horizontal, so that's this one down here at the bottom where the months are, and then the vertical is the amounts. So I'm going to, for the horizontal axis, I'm going to type months and see how that's inserted right here. As you move your mouse Around on the chart, you may see little pop-ups like this one says Edit Legend. If I click there, I can change the font color of the legend, the font size, make it bold or italics. I can adjust the alignment. Right now, this is saying that the legend is on the right side of the page. But if I wanted it at the bottom, I could click bottom. I'm going to put it back over to the right. This is for the title. Notice now the little pop-up says Edit Title. Let's make that bigger. If you'd like to save it as an image so that you can place it in another document, you have an option right here to do that. You can copy the chart. You want to rename the chart, come down here to the chart, to the Sheet tab, and click the down arrow and click Rename. You can delete a sheet by clicking the down arrow and choosing Delete. Okay, now I'm back at my sheet. Let's look at a couple aspects of this sheet. So the first cell, this is a merge cell. And the same with row 14, it's a merge cell. Looks like column A should be a little bit wider. You can double click this border between A and B to increase the column width. There is a top and bottom border on row 12 and 19 and 22. You can look at your formulas by holding down the control key and pressing the accent grave key on the keyboard right above the tab key. And that's a toggle. I can just do control accent grave again to go back to the regular view. Average expenses. I widen that column. This number in here is the average of these numbers right here. The text in rows 12, 13, and 22 are formatted with bold. All the cells are formatted with a dollar sign and 2 decimal places. Some of these cells right here are formatted with conditional formatting. The cells in row 2, A2 through N2, and A15 through N15 are formatted with a background color and the font is white. Row 22, there's a formula subtracting the earnings from each month. So for instance in B22, the formula equals B19 minus B12 is subtracting the expenses from the earnings to let you know if you made a profit. So for this sheet, there was a profit every month of the year, which is good, but that's good for a business, but that might not be practical, especially for a startup business. Notice that the numbers, they're not all the same every month because your expenses aren't going to be the same every month. So for instance, this is a wine company. In the tasting room, the operations varies every month. The amount of salaries that are paid varies every month. Notice the insurance. This company does not pay insurance on a monthly basis, a couple times a year. So that's typical for your expenses. And this particular company has earnings from 3 sources: wine club members, tasting room, and the sale of the wine. So this is a pretty good budget with lots of variety. Thanks so much for watching my video.